months back, I was reading the story of David and Goliath, and I always like to go over that story a few times because I feel like even though you know a story and you read it a few times and you hear it over and over again, depending on where you are in your life, the story can speak to you differently. You can grab out different parts of it. So at this time, I was reading the story of David and Goliath, and I thought it was pretty interesting that, David was a shepherd boy. He had a sling and a stone. He fought off the lions and the bears and protected his father's sheep. He was not a man of muscle and stature and all these things, And his father had sent him to bring food to his brothers who were on the battle lines fighting the Philistines. And the biggest Philistine of them all was Goliath. And they say in the Bible he stood over 9 feet tall. And that's a pretty big dude. My son looks at 6'1" people and is like, can you dunk a 10-foot pole? He thinks they're enormous. I could imagine what he would think of a 9-foot man. So this guy is dressed up in complete armor and everything like that. And, David goes out there and he hears Goliath say, who of you will fight me? These guys have been out there forever, terrified of this man. And so David decides, I'm going to fight Goliath. I'll fight Goliath. And his brothers get mad at him. And Saul is like, okay, great. I got the finest armor. I got the best armor. And he puts it all on him. And I can just picture it like engulfing David, this small guy. And a small kid, actually. And so he took off of Saul's armor and he said, I picture him just being like, it just doesn't fit. Like, I got what I need. I got what I need. And so he took the things that God had given him, a sling and a stone, and he went and fought that giant. And he won. He went at him, it says, in the name of the Lord. And he won. And the stone hit Goliath right in the middle of the forehead, and he fell to the ground. And then David took his sword and cut off his head. What? Are you kidding me? So, don't try to fit in to the things God has given others, because he's given them those gifts and those tools to fight the battles that he has chosen for them. He has given you certain gifts to fight the battles that he has chosen for you. So when we try to put on what God has given somebody else, it doesn't work. So remember, the things that he has given you are specifically made for you, because you were specifically made for a purpose. So I hope that encourages somebody today, because a lot of times we can lose battles because we're trying to fight them how we've seen others fight them. And that may not always be for us. So be you. Be the best you that you can be, because there's no one else that we'd rather be than who God made us to be. Love you all.